Fake news and the mainstream media go together like peanut butter and jelly. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about the ridiculously fake story from the Rolling Stone about Ivermectin overdoses overwhelming hospitals in Oklahoma. Now, I have a disclaimer here, right here. I got a disclaimer. I need to read this right quick because you know how YouTube is. Oh, you're spreading medical misinformation, all this and that. So I'm going to read this right quick, and then we're going to get right back to the meat and potatoes of the story. All right, now, Ivermectin has not been approved by the FDA to treat the virus. Horse paste is dangerous, although the pill form that's prescribed by a doctor is used and prescribed all over the world and won a Nobel Peace Prize. A lot of refugees are giving this before they come to the United States just to take care of anything they got going on internally. It is an actual thing that's being used in other countries to treat this particular thing. However, in the US of A, it has not been approved to treat the virus. All right. Now, the Rolling Stone made this completely fake story talking about in Oklahoma, ivermectin overdoses are clogging up hospitals. I mean, totally fake. And let's put this screen on the screen before you. This is on Twitter. This was the original tweet from September the 3rd, right? And if you can't see the screen, I'll read it for you. It says, gunshot victims left waiting as horse dewormer overdoses overwhelm Oklahoma hospitals, doctor says. So people say that ivermectin, it works, it's a good thing. And people are going out there and getting the horse dewormer from feed stores and using that to treat themselves. Again, you probably shouldn't be getting that. If you're going to get Ivm, you need to highlight a doctor, just like any other drug. You don't want to just go and get a thing and then self-medicate. But first things first, why use this picture? Okay, if this is something recent that's happening, it's not wintertime yet. So they have on masks and they're standing in a line, but they have on coats and their hands in their pockets and hoods over their head. It's not wintertime yet. So this is a picture from nowhere near right now as I'm talking, time-wise. Also, if you're talking about gunshot victims left waiting, I don't think if somebody got shot, they're going to just be outside in a single file line with their coat on, just waiting patiently. That's not how that works. I know guys that have been shot. I know guys that have been shot and killed. And if a guy gets shot or severely injured, car accident, something like that, they're not going to be waiting like this. It's not how it happens. All right. They're going to get sent straight to operation, whether it's at a local hospital or whatever. They're going to put them on a Nightingale or a little helicopter. They're going to give them to where they got to go. That's how it usually is. This whole little line right here is not even how it would happen. You're not going to be sitting in the waiting room and in the ER bleeding to death right there. And if I'm wrong about that, please let me know in the comments below, because I'd love to see an example of me being wrong. Somebody bleeding to death while another guy got a tummy ache from taking some horse paste. Now, let's go and see where this story leads, because here is the actual headline, which is being used all over the place. You know, a lot of places. This is KFOR.com. You see right here, it's a Dr. McKillian said patients are packing his eastern and southeastern Oklahoma hospitals after taking ivermectin. Here's a story. Here's another one. Rachel Maddow put it out. Patients overdosing ivermectin, backing up rural Oklahoma hospitals, ambulances. Quote, the scariest one I've heard of and seen is people coming in with vision loss. Again, repeating the same story from KFOR. I mean, Newsweek, it's over and over, right? They're repeating the same story. At a certain point, it's called astroturfing, where you keep saying the same thing over and over again, trying to convince people of the thing. It's like an advertising PR campaign. But the question is it even true? Is it true? No, it's not. A complete lie. Has there been a retraction from MS13 DNC, Rachel Maddow, New York Daily News, all these other places? I've not seen it from Rachel Maddow, but we have a slight retraction here on Rolling Stone, where I think the story first came out. And here is the updated version. See, this is where that story linked. Now, this headline, gunshot victims, horse dewormer, all of that is much different than this, where it says one hospital denies Oklahoma doctor's story of ivermectin overdoses causing ER delays for gunshot victims. And the subhead says the hospital says it hasn't experienced any care backlog due to patients overdosing on a drug that's been, quote, falsely peddled as a COVID cure, unquote. Although Joe Rogan said he took it and 2 days later he didn't have the virus anymore. He tested negative for the virus. He's totally fine. Oscar De La Hoya, on the other hand, double jab, is suffering right now in the hospital, last I checked, with the virus. Both athletes, both right around the same age. Matter of fact, I think Rogan is like 5 years older than De La Hoya. I'm just saying, we'll keep on moving. Now, here is the update in full. And this will all be linked in the description box below so you can read it for yourself. Don't take my word for it, but I am on rollingstone.com right now. Update. One hospital has denied Dr. Jason McKellia's claim that ivermectin overdoses are causing emergency room backlogs and delays in medical care in rural Oklahoma. And Rolling Stone has been unable to independently verify any such cases as of the time of this update. So you put the story out there, it's spread all over the internet. It's like wildfire, but you couldn't even confirm it. So why did you roll it? You just heard a tip from one guy and you ran with it. Seems pretty thirsty and desperate to me, but I'll continue. The National Poison Data System states that there were 459 reported cases of ivermectin overdose in the U.S. as of August. In the U.S. in August. So throughout the entirety of all 50 states, 459 cases of overdose of IVM. That's all. Not very many. Oklahoma-specific ivermectin overdose figures are not available, but the count is unlikely to be a significant factor in hospital bed availability in a state that, per the CDC, currently has a 7-day average of 1,528 COVID-19 hospitalizations. So, let's get this straight. In the month of August, throughout the entire United States, you have less than 500 IVM overdoses in the whole U.S., right? But in Oklahoma by itself, the 7-day average is 1,500 virus hospitalizations. I mean, come on. This is just, the story was dumb from the beginning. Surely they could have found this data out before they ran with the story and had it spread all over the internet. And I'm seeing it being repeated in some Facebook threads. Oh, I heard that the IVM overdoses are taking over hospitals. Dumb stuff. And why only Oklahoma? Why not anywhere else? Why Oklahoma specifically? The story was obviously false from the beginning, in my humble opinion, but we keep on moving. Now, the doctor in question that put the story out, the doctor is affiliated with a medical staffing group that serves multiple hospitals in Oklahoma. Following widespread publication of his statements, one hospital that a doctor's group serves, NHS Sequoia, said its ER has not treated any IVM overdoses and that it has not had to turn anyone away seeking care. This and other hospitals that a doctor's group serves did not respond to requests for comment, and the doctor has not responded to requests for further comment. We will update if we receive further information. So this how this thing goes. A lot of times you have stories that kind of just spread and they're out there and there's no real due diligence done to see if it's true from the beginning. But once it spreads and it's out there. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? How do you feel about this fake story just making it out there to the public with no vetting, no research, no nothing? It's just put out there, seen as fact, still seen as fact by many, and then they retract it, knowing full well that people that saw the original story probably won't see the retraction. And they just go out throughout life believing that the first story was true. Whatever your thoughts on that are, let me know in the comments below. Another question would be, if this story was just put out there, spread like wildfire with no due diligence, no research, no nothing, how many other stories are the exact same way? Where they don't really know what's going on, but they got a tip from a guy. They got a tip from a nurse or a doctor or someone claiming to be a nurse or a doctor. Remember that boy that was pretending to be a doctor? How did he get so far? People believed him. They just said, okay, you say you're a doctor? Cool, I believe you. This man was treating patients with no credentials. How many stories make the mainstream media that have no basis in reality, not credential, just completely fake? How many stories exist like that? I think quite a few. So you guys know where I'm at. I hate when the media puts out fake news. They do it all the time, but then they want to accuse guys like me of creating fake news. They want to accuse people like yourself of believing in fake news. How about they stop peddling in the fake news, do a little bit of due diligence, do a little bit of research, and figure out what's going on rather than just grabbing a story that meets their political objective to push the vaccines and not anything else. Not even Nobel Peace Prize winning medications that have been prescribed by doctors for years and years and years. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.